All right, we are now recording. We're live. Good morning, everyone. And I've been talking about some news that's been coming down from the very top, the very top. About 10 days ago, some videos were released of a pair, an up-and-coming pair, but they've been winning a lot of our big events recently. And their names were Fisher and Swartz. They're from Israel. And they have been cheating a lot on various play and defense and that kind of thing. And finally, a lot of top players took the videos and took the systems and watched it and figured out how they were cheating. So they have now been removed from their team. Their team has withdrawn from India, which is starting in 10 days. And so Israel will no longer be there, and Sweden is going in their place. Then 2 days ago, is everybody hearing me, or are you guys just in shock? Are you there? Somebody type yes. Nobody can hear me? Oh, yeah, okay, good. Okay. Perfect. So then about 2 days ago, I guess it was Monday morning, so 2 days ago, on Bridgewinners, bridgewinners.com is where all of this is coming out, is more video and on another pair, and that pair is actually the #1 and #2 players in the world, and that's Fantoni and Nunes, and they were cheating in many ways, again in the bidding and on defense, and they were in the #2 slot from Europe going to India, and so now Monaco is no longer going, and the WBF is scurrying around trying to find one more team that can enter the Bermuda Bowl, which is the event I'm going to India for, my team, the nickel team. So we've prepared all of these documents against Israel, all these documents against Monaco, analyzing everything, and now we're madly trying to get together 2 more countries, and the second country hasn't even been announced yet. So everyone is in shock, I believe. And I will tell you, there's a third pair. There's a third pair out there that will probably come out in the next couple of days, but it's not official, and so I can't tell you today. But like I said earlier before we started, I'll most likely be able to tell you who that pair is and what country. It's another European pair that will be coming out. And they are on yet another team going to India. So there could be a third replacement. Europe sends 6 teams, and it is in theory possible that 3 of those 6 teams had cheaters on their teams and will be replaced in the last 10 days leading up to the World Championships. So needless to say, the organizations heads are spinning and people don't know what to think, and I've just sort of been walking around numb, not believing everything that's going on. There have been rumors about these pairs for a long time. So it's not surprising, I guess, at bottom line, but they had a lot of fans, so they've disappointed a lot of people, I can say. But anyway, having told you that breaking news, let's turn our attention to defend these hands today. And I wanted to start with that story. Mainly, one reason is because it's so shocking, but the second thing is what these pairs were doing was mainly on defense, because defense is so hard. It's so hard. So what we're going to do today, what I would like to talk to you about in these hands that I've put together, is how to think about defense. So we'll be talking about figuring out how many points partner has, whether we want an attacking defense or a passive defense, what partner's lead is telling us, because some of our third hand plays very much depend on how we interpret partner's opening lead. And we'll also be talking signaling as we go through. I'll go ahead and get started with the first hand. And just to acclimate ourselves to what's going on, you're all sitting south. And the very first thing a good defender does before they make their opening lead, before they play third hand to the trick, is review the auction to make sure they know and have a starting point of what the hands are. Okay, so the auction on this hand, on this board, is 1 heart by North. North is up in the top screen here. Let me get my pen here so I can put some, North is up here, okay, and opens 1 heart. East doubles. South passes. I would say pass with this hand. West bids 2 spades. Now let's just talk about the bidding there. What's that 2 spade telling us there? It's saying it's 9 to 11 points, partner, and I have at least 4 spades. No need to have a 5th spade on that particular auction. It's just showing points. And okay, here we go. This is better. And then it goes 3 hearts by North. So partner's showing us long, long hearts here. I would say 6 very strong ones or 7th heart there. And then East bids 4 spades, knowing their partner has 9 to 11 points. The all pass in the box up there, that means it's all pass. AP means all pass, just for short, so you know what that's saying. Okay, so you as South are defending, and your partner leads out the Ace of Hearts. And East is dummy. Okay, East comes down, and you're sitting here looking at your, this is called a Yarborough, by the way. Your South hand is a Yarborough. It means you have no honors in your hand. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, how boring a defense. I have nothing to play with. But you, as South, are the key on this hand. So let's think about, okay, the opponents have, let's go with 26 high card points. They're in game, realizing that they could be bidding on shortness or length and that type of thing, but our starting point would be they have 26 points, okay? And so that means partner has about 14 points. Now they've led the Ace of Hearts, and we lead Ace from Ace King on opening lead, okay? So that's part of interpreting what partner's lead is. Now we can see the Queen Jack of Hearts. So partner's got 7 of their 14 points in the heart suit, okay? Now let's take a look at the dummy, right? There's 3 types of dummies. There are passive dummies, which are balanced and no source of tricks. That would not qualify here because of that diamond suit. This particular dummy is one that requires an aggressive defense because of the diamonds, okay? Now, we think we're going to get 2 heart tricks, right? The next question we ask ourselves is, where do we get 2 more tricks, right? We're defending 4 spades, and we're trying to get 4 tricks on defense, all right? So we know we're going to get 2 heart tricks, and we need 2 more tricks. Well, we could get the Ace of Spades, but it's unlikely. The opponents have 8 spades, so it's likely that West is holding the Ace of Spades. So what suit is our source of tricks on this hand? And you guys can answer in the questions box since we can't find the answers box. What suit do we need to attack besides hearts? Where can we get tricks? You can type in the questions box. Let me know you're still there. Nobody can see your answers except for me. Okay, here comes some. The club suit, right? The club suit. But who needs to lead the club suit, right? If your partner leads the club suit and they're sitting there, we know partner's got about 7 points over there, right? So let's say they have the Ace Queen of clubs. That would give them 6 points, right? If that's the case, South needs to be leading clubs. So on the lead of the ace of hearts, it would go queen of hearts, four of hearts, West would follow with the heart. Then when partner continues with the king of hearts, East would follow with the queen, and South would want to trump their partner's king of hearts. Now, partner's going to sit there and frown at you. It happens every time when you trump their good trick. But once you trump their heart trick, right, if you discard on this, partner's never getting to your hand. This is the one time that you will be able to get into your hand to lead a club to partner. All right, so trump the king of hearts and then switch to a club. Okay. In this case, you would switch to a high club because you don't have any club, you don't have any desire to have a club lead back, right? One of our general rules is in the middle of the hand when you're switching to a suit, a low spot card in that hand says that you have some tricks in that suit. A high spot card says, I don't have any tricks here. I'm just coming back to your hand so you can lead your original suit. Okay, now on the layout here, if you actually trump your partner's king of hearts and then lead a club, partner's sitting there with the ace queen of clubs. And you get two heart tricks, well, one heart trick in your rough and the ace queen of clubs for down one. But again, if you discard on the king of hearts, your partner can cash their ace of clubs, but they don't ever get their queen of clubs. The clubs will go running away on that diamond suit sitting in the east hand. All right, so the dummy is actually what told us the defense here. The dummy often tells us what kind of defense to have. And this is an aggressive defense dummy because of the source of tricks. And we'll see this again in this hand. Do we have any questions on that one? No questions? Are you guys able to take notes? You were able to print your handouts and everything for the most part? I know a couple of people had issues with printing. I'm going to work on that for next week. All right, well, let's go look our next adventure. All right, here we have you're sitting south, all right, and east passes. You'd start with one diamond on this hand. West doubles. Okay, so in our mind, we're thinking, okay, West is showing at least 4-3 in the majors. Partner gives us 3 diamonds, which is preemptive, right? Just those long diamonds in a weak hand. East here says double. And last week, those that were here, we talked about a responsive double where you'd like to show 8 to 10 points and say, hey, partner, I've got both suits you're looking for. Okay, because East doesn't really want to define hearts if West has 3 hearts, and they don't want to define spades if West has 3 spades. So they say double, which is called a responsive double. It's not alertable. It's standard system. Saying, partner, you pick hearts or spades. Whichever one you have more of, let's go with that because I have equal length in both suits. Then South passes because we told our story with the 1 diamond bid, and West bids 3 hearts, and it goes all pass. Okay, so you're sitting south. Your partner north leads the queen of diamonds right from up here. The dummy comes down, and I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to take a look at that dummy and decide what kind of dummy is it. Is there a threatening suit in that dummy? Is it a balanced suit that is not going to take many tricks? How many tricks do you need in this hand? Oh, and how many points your partner has. Now, they're in part score at the 3 level, so you would subtract from 17 on this hand. When they're in game, you subtract from 14 to decide how many points partner has. When they're in 3 level part score, you subtract from 17. So in this hand, South has 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 high card points. So partner is working on 3 points, approximately. Now with the preemptive bid and that kind of thing, that fits. We sort of knew they weren't having a lot of cards there. And we need 5 tricks to set declare this time. So where would your source of tricks come? And I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about that, and then we'll continue discussing. All right, so this is what I would be thinking. My partners led the Queen of Diamonds, so I know they have the Jack of Diamonds. Okay, they've shown length in the suit, so they wouldn't be leading Queen from a long suit. The Queen would be promising the Jack, which actually turns out to be their 3 points. So before I encourage with my 8 of Diamonds, and for discussion's sake, for group discussion, because I know we play all sorts of signals, but we'll be playing standard signals in our webinars. The 8 would say, oh, partner, I like your lead. Let's take some diamonds. But if you're looking at the dummy and you're counting your tricks and you're wondering, okay, if all partner has is the Queen, Jack of Diamonds, how in the world are we getting 5 tricks from this hand? All right. So I actually want to play the 2 of Diamonds to say I don't like diamonds. Okay, now partner's Queen is going to win, so they're going to know you've got something over there. But as third hand, you guide the defense. Okay, you are telling partner, do not continue diamonds. Even though you've got a second, you think you have a second diamond trick. Chances are you've got a second diamond trick. If partner has 5 diamonds, you only ever had 1 diamond trick. But you also know this is the last time in partner's hand. So you need them, if declare only has 1 diamond, it's the last diamond, the last time you're getting into partner's hand. So you actually need partner to switch. And general rule, all of you Norths out there, when partner tells you to not continue the suit lead, even though you've bid and raised it, right? What they want you to do is switch based on dummy. And it's usually dummy short suit. And that's a guideline. Exceptions abound. But it's generally look at dummy partner. It's not, don't lead the trump suit necessarily, although there are cases that the trump suits lead. But the big idea is don't continue our suit partner. Find another lead. And now North would look at East hand and say, well, it looks like we've got more chances of tricks in the club suit than we do the heart suit because there's longer suit in the East hand. If West is trumping anything sooner than later, it'll be a heart over a club. All right, so North switches to a club. If the dummy plays low, you play the Queen. Dummy plays the King, you play the Ace. Let's say dummy plays the 4 of clubs. We play the Queen of clubs. Declare would West would follow low. Then remember we need 5 tricks. All right, so we're thinking we have 2 diamonds and 2 clubs, and we need a 4th trick. And we know partner has no more points other than the Queen, Jack of Diamonds. See how figuring out how many points partner has actually gives you a clue to the defense. It's something you want to do on every hand, working out the number of points partner has, because things occur to you in the defense that might not otherwise. All right, on this hand, in order to get a 5th trick, one of you is going to have to get a rough, right? There's no more high card tricks coming here. You've got 2 diamonds and 2 clubs in high card points, but the roughing value is going to come in your club suit right here. All right, so when your Queen of clubs, cash your Ace of clubs, and then lead a low diamond over to your partner's Jack that you know they have. That would be suit preference there. Okay, low card in a suit lead over to partner would say, in this case, because you could have cashed your Ace of Diamonds, right? Right, you could have just taken your Ace of Diamonds, but instead you are allowing partner to win that trick. All right, that tells partner you wanted them to win that trick. So you tell them what suit you want them to lead as you're leading over to them. Now that's a little bit that, partner might not know that signal yet, but for sure North should be sitting there going, well, why in the world did South cash their ace of clubs and set up the good king of clubs over there? Okay, some logic is going to take over, even if they don't read your three of diamonds saying I want a club lead. Right? Because I know we have all different levels out there, and our partners are all different levels. So sometimes the signal gets lost, but logic should overcome in this kind of case. When you win the queen of clubs and then cash the ace of clubs, setting up the king, remember, the king is now good in the dummy, right? South must have had a reason to set up the ace of clubs instead of, winning the queen of clubs, leading a diamond over to your jack and letting you lead back through the king of clubs. Right? If South had club length, they would want you to continue leading clubs through the king. Right? So by cashing the ace, it's like sending up a smoke signal. All right, partner, I've got shortness over here. So three of diamonds back over to the North's hand over here to the jack of diamonds that we know partner has, because remember they started with the queen of diamonds. And then they lead a club, a third round club, which we ruff. That gives us 2 diamonds, 2 clubs, and a club ruff for down 1. And declares, when the defenders do this to you, you say nice defense. Unless you're playing against those pairs that have now been barred from ever. Well, they haven't been barred forever, but it's going to be a long while with a lot of hearings. As you guys know, it took us 2 years to get rid of the German coughing doctors that cheated against my team in Bali. So I think the process will be faster now, because that was the first time any pair had ever been thrown out in international competition. The German coughing doctors that I took care of. So it's going to be a while, but I don't think those pairs will be playing, because no one will play against them. It's become, because it's on the social internet now, which is what we haven't had in the past. People are just going to boycott playing against them, so they won't be playing. You won't find them playing anywhere. But this type of defense can be done without cheating. It just takes logic and focusing on the points partner has, focusing on the type of dummy, and counting your tricks. Just as Declare counts her tricks. On defense, we want to be counting our tricks. Focus on the goal, which on this hand was 5 tricks. We could see 4, and we had to imagine the 5th trick and place the cards, visualize the cards in partner's hand that could help us do that. And that jack of diamonds was a huge card for us. That's what got us our ruff, our entry ruff. All right, any questions? We're still okay out there? We've got almost everybody here now. Can everybody hear me that just logged on in the last hand or so? You're doing good? All right. Well, let's continue on to hand number 3. By the way, I do have a break scheduled in the middle of our hands. I've got 12 hands for us today. So after hand number 6, we'll take a quick break just to stand up and stretch. I got a lot of feedback last week that it would have been great to have a break midway. So we're going to do that this week, just so you know that's coming up. All right, hand number 3. All right, you're sitting west. Okay. And the bidding goes 1 spade by west. North bids 1 no trump. North up here bids 1 no trump. And that's showing 15 to 18 points. Part of being a good defender, since today is talking about defense, part of being a good defender is understanding your opponent's bidding. It doesn't mean you have to ask about every bid, but certainly once you're on defense, if there's a bid you're uncertain about, you can go ahead and ask them. It would show 15 to 18 points and promise a spade stopper on this particular auction. Then your partner passes, and South bids 2 no trump, and then it goes all pass. All right. So even though North initially showed us 15 to 18, this is what I would be thinking. Okay, North's got 15 to 18. It's pointy bids 1 no. Then when South invites and North passes, I'm placing North more with 15 points than the could be 16, could be a bad 16, like an ugly duckling 16. But I certainly wouldn't expect them to have 17 or 18. So I've narrowed their 15 to 18 to 15, maybe a bad 16 on as far as my calculations are concerned. Okay, so our partner leads the 9 of spades. All right, so here's one of the points that we're talking about today is interpreting partner's lead. Okay, so what would you say, and you can type these answers in the question box, what are some possible holdings that partner would have playing standard leads? Okay, I know there are other leads going on out there, but playing standard leads, visualize what partner's holding could be. Go ahead and type it in the questions box so I can know what you're thinking. The more I know what you're thinking, the better I can tailor the discussion here. Right. Seems like short spades, right? 2 or 3 spades. Now let's talk about top of nothing. Okay. When partners bid a suit and you're leading partner suit, generally you would lead low from 3 or high from a doubleton. Okay, so the top of nothing idea is just when you've raised your partner's suit because partner knows you have at least 3, right? So that 9 of spades, I would interpret as shortness. Okay, now let's go back. North said they had a spade stopper by bidding 1 no. So what are we visualizing North's spade holding? What kind of spade stopper could they have looking at our ace king 4-3-2? Well, for sure the queen, right? And either 3 or 4. I would say since they're minimum, this is the inference I would take. And that's why I pointed out that I'm focusing on North holding 15 points instead of 17 or 18. When you overcall a no trump with a minimum no trump overcall point-wise, you like to have 2 stoppers in that suit. Okay, so not only the 9 indicates shortness, but the bidding indicates shortness as well. Because I would say for North to consider having 2 stoppers in spades, I would say that they've got Queen Jack and 2 small, or Queen Jack 10 small. Some chance of getting 2 winners in that suit. So if North has 4 and you as West has 5 and South has 2, that confirms our suspicion that partner's leading from shortness. All right, so we've interpreted partner's lead. The opponents have bid to 2 no. Now if we give North 15, South has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 23. And West has 13, which is 36. So that gives our partner approximately 4 points, right? So we're not working with much. The one thing we do know is spades isn't our defense suit. Even though we bid it, right? Even though we bid spades, we can see 2 spade tricks. But if we think we're getting more, maybe we'd get a 3rd spade trick if we could get in enough, right? If we could keep leading spades. But partner's over there with only 4 high card points, and so it's going to be difficult to get our 5th spade set up. But there is another suit that we may have some tricks in if partner can get in. All right, so let's think, if we win the king of spades, the trick one, right? So it goes 9 of spades, 6 of spades, king of spades out of west hand, and north follows low. Now we look at the dummy. Okay, the dummy has solid diamonds and solid clubs as far as texture is concerned. Okay, there's not going to be a secondary or thirdary. Perhaps partner's got an ace in one of those suits, because remember, partner's got 4 points. And if that's the case, it's the heart suit that we want to focus on. Okay, if we can give a trick to declare, let's say declare has the king of hearts, right? What we have here is a layout, it's called a surrounding play. Anytime you have the dummy's honor, okay, dummy's honor here, the jack of hearts, and you have it surrounded, that's why it's called a surround play. You have the lower honor, which is the 10 here, the higher honor, which is the queen, those are touching, and then a higher honor here being the ace, okay? What you want to do is leave the queen of hearts at trick 2. Remember, we need 6 tricks here. This is 2 no trump. So we've got 2 spades, we've got 1 heart, that's 3, right? We need 3 more tricks in this suit. It's not going to come from the diamonds. It's not going to, 3 tricks aren't going to come from the diamonds and the clubs, because we know partner's only got 4 points over there, right? So we're going to have to start immediately working on our heart suit by leading the queen of hearts, keeping the jack of hearts surrounded by the 10 and the ace, right? And what happens is it goes queen of hearts, king of hearts by north, partner plays low and south plays low. That's okay, right? We were planning on north having the king of hearts. Now, when north goes about playing on the club suit or the diamond suit, we don't care, whichever ace partner may have here, then partner's going to win their ace of diamonds, win their ace of clubs, whichever, we know they only have 1, because remember, they only have 4 points, and continue a heart through the queen 7 now to your ace 10, right? Declare plays low, you play your 10 of hearts, then cash your ace of hearts, and now your 5 of hearts is good. If declare plays the jack of hearts, win the ace of hearts, cash the 10 of hearts, and then play your 5 of hearts. Now, if declare has 4 hearts, that's not going to work, right? And you couldn't set the hand. But if declare has only 3 hearts, which go back to the bidding, right? The bidding part, declare overcalled and no trump. We know they have 4 spades. If they had 4 hearts, they might have made a takeout double, although they could have chosen to bid a no trump. So it's not clear that they don't have 4 hearts, but frequency-wise, it's unlikely that north has 4 hearts in this hand, and that hearts are 4, 3, 3, 3 around the table, and your 5 of hearts becomes the setting trick. 3 heart tricks, 2 spade tricks, and your partner's lone 4 points over here, either the ace of clubs or the ace of diamonds, whichever one they had. But the surrounding play is a good one to remember. It's when you have dummy's honor surrounded by 2 honors, and then have a 3rd honor hanging out above. So it could be a holding like, it could be a king, jack, or king, well, that doesn't work. Ace, queen, 10 is usually the popular holding. But lead the higher touching honor. So lead the queen of hearts, force out the king, right? And some of you might be thinking, anytime you're thinking something, be sure to type it in so I know you're thinking. But in live classrooms, I don't have the question box, so this is very cool for me to be able to see what you're thinking. But you may be thinking, well, partner might have had the king of hearts, and that's possible. But again, north bid the no trump. Partner's got 4 points. So odds are they've got either one of the aces, right? Or perhaps they have, well, they couldn't have the ace king of clubs because that would be 7 points. So they could have you need them to have an ace so that you can lead back through the Jack of Hearts. If partner's got the Queen of Hearts, the King of Hearts, then they'll signal high. Your queen will win, and you can go over to their King of Hearts and collect up 4 heart tricks anyway. So either way, if partner's got the King of Hearts or partner doesn't have the King of Hearts, your Queen of Hearts play allows you to hold the lead and see what's going on. All right. So that one's a bit tricky, but focusing on the number of defense you need, the number of tricks you need on defense, which we needed 6, realizing partner's lead was shortness, which told you that North had a couple of spade tricks sitting up there, and then focusing on the heart suit. That's how you get to that play. I know some of you are thinking, okay, well, it looks simple here because I'm looking at it, but when I've got the 13 cards in my hand, how am I going to get there? Right? And it's the thought process, realizing the number of points partner has, interpreting their opening lead, focusing on the dummy, where the source of tricks and dummy are, and then where the source of tricks for your side is. And that's how you get to the heart trick, the heart lead here. Okay, we'll continue on. All right, this hand, you're all sitting south. West here opens 1 heart. North, your partner passes. East bids 2 hearts. And it goes all pass. All right, so to set this contract, I would be thinking right now, okay, I need 6 tricks to set this contract. They're in 2 hearts, which I'm going to now subtract my points from 19. Okay, when they're in game, you subtract your high card points from 14. When they're in 3-level part score, you subtract your high card points from 17. And when they're in a 2-level contract, you subtract your high card points from 19. All right, so if I do that, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 high card points in my south hand, right? We're all sitting south. And I'm subtracting from 19. So partner has approximately 9 points over there. It's evenly divided, this hand, so I'm not working by myself. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, partner's going to be in the game with me. I don't have to do everything myself on this hand. And partner leads the Jack of Spades. All right, so versus hearts, that Jack of Spades could be shortness, but that means West has a bunch of spades. Okay, and the auction doesn't indicate West having a bunch of spades. So I would interpret my partner's Jack of Spades as being from a Jack 10 holding. Jack 10 third, Jack 10 fourth, that kind of thing. And now, again, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Now that we've got more to think about, we know partner's got about 9 points. And look at the type of dummy. Is there a source of tricks? How is declarer going to be using that dummy? What is that dummy good for? And then decide, well, I'll tell you, the first trick will go Jack of Spades, King of Spades. You'll win your Ace of Spades, no ducking against the suit contract, and declarer follows. And it's your trick to play. What's our defense against 2 hearts? Based on the dummy and based on partner having approximately 9 points. And when you've got your ideas, go ahead and type them in the box so I can know what you're thinking. Is this a threatening dummy? Is there a suit and dummy that's going to be threatening? How about, right, some of you are saying, yeah, the club suit. The club suit is long, but you as South know that that club suit's not going anywhere, right? You've got the Queen of Clubs covered. She's not winning a trick, and none of those longer clubs are winning a trick because you've got the King, Jack, 10, 9. All right, so what we call that the suit is locked up. The club suit is locked up. Partners led the jack of spades, we're assuming from length because of the auction and the lead, right? So spades, that dummy spade suit, yes, they've got the queen of spades as a winner, but there's no other source of tricks in that suit. Okay, so the dummy is basically a dead dummy as far as being used for tricks in high card points. So I would turn my focus on that doubleton diamond and dummy and say to myself, you know what? The only thing that dummy is good for as far as declare is concerned is to trump diamonds. All right, remembering partners got approximately 9 points. We know 1 point because of the jack of spades, but they've got 8 points wandering around over there. Probably not in the heart suit. So they've got a diamond honor over there. So at trick 2, I would switch to a heart. Okay, I switch to a low heart. I don't like to use my heart spots because they might come in value in use later on. So I'd switch to a heart at trick 2. And on this particular hand, declare would actually take a finesse to your partner's king. All right, we can't see that, but I'm telling you what happens at trick 2. Now, attention all Norths. When your partner switches to a heart, there's a reason. Okay, there's a reason partner switches to trump. They don't switch to trump just because they feel like it. All right, what partner is usually telling you when they switch to trump at trick 2 on defense is whatever suits in dummy that may look threatening to you, the club suit here, don't worry about it. I've got it locked up. I've got clubs covered. All right. So when partner switches to a trump, you need to win that. If declare gives you an opportunity to win that trump, you need to return trump, right? Continue partner's defense. It's like I talk about it, it's like picking a dance, a dance move. So if partner picks square dancing, you better do square dancing with them. Otherwise, you're going to step on each other's feet, right? If partner picks the waltz, then you better do the waltz because otherwise you're going to be bumping into each other, right? The tango, the same thing. You better be on the same page. So the trump switch is such an aggressive, most of the time aggressive kind of thing. It's only a switch that you make with a reason. All right. So if partner switches to a trump and you have an opportunity to continue that trump, you want to continue that trump. And if it's wrong, it was partner's fault that they switched to it. But if you don't continue and it was wrong, now it's your fault. All right. So what you have to do is when partner switches to a trump, you follow suit and you switch to trump. And every time you get in, you switch to trump. And that essentially kills the dummy in this hand. Right? Any chance that declare had to trump a diamond, is going to be gone because you and partner kept leading trump. At most, then maybe they get 1 diamond roughed, but the other diamond losers in their hand are just going to be diamond losers. And ultimately, you'd end up with 6 losers here, 6 winners here, excuse me. All right, so that one is focusing on the dummy, what it's good for, right? Are we noticing how the dummy is the one that's telling us all the how to do all of this thing? Yeah, the dummy tells us a lot. All right, let's move on to hand number 5. And here we're sitting west. And we open 1 heart. And north bids 1 spade. And east passes. And south bids 4 spades. And it goes all pass. Now this particular hand, your partner leads the 8 of hearts. And we have to interpret that opening lead. Okay, let's go back to the bidding, right? At the very beginning, I said all great defenders review the auction. It went 1 heart, 1 spade, and East passed. Okay, so if East had anything close to a heart raise, they could simply bid 2 hearts. It wouldn't show strength, it just shows heart length, right? But East passed, and then South bid 4 spades. Now that 8 of hearts looks awfully suspicious, right? If in partner's bid suit you have length, you lead low. And if you have strength, you lead high. And I actually see we hold the 8 of hearts here. That's pretty funny. That should be the 9 of hearts. But partner does lead the 8 of hearts on this hand. And it goes Queen of hearts. Now, part of interpreting partner's lead is following it up with what do we think North's holding in hearts is. Okay, if we assume that East is leading from shortness, what is North's holding here? Go ahead and type in what you think it is. What are the honors in North's hand? Knowing it goes 8 of hearts, Queen of hearts, and we're deciding what to play or not, right? We're deciding whether to play the King of hearts or whether to play low. All right, so a lot of you are saying, okay, Declare has the Ace of Hearts. Declare has the Jack of Hearts, right? And probably one other heart. We're looking at 6 hearts. If partner's leading from shortness, that's 2. That gives us 8. And there's 1 in dummy, which is 9. So Declare probably has Ace, Jack, 10, and another smaller heart. Okay, so if in this case we actually play the King of Hearts on the Queen, then Declare is going to win the Ace. They're going to be able to play their Jack of Hearts and discard from the dummy, and their 10 of Hearts and discard from the dummy, right? And by playing our King, we are just giving them the suit. So if we realize what Declare's holding is on this hand, we can actually figure out to play low at trick 1. Now, we've been taught from the very beginning to cover an honor with an honor. But here's your exception. When there's a singleton honor in the dummy, and you can realize from partner's opening lead that Declare's got the remaining honors in that suit, right? You don't want to cover the singleton honor. It will set up the suit for Declare, right? If we play low here, the Queen of Hearts wins. I agree. I know you're thinking, okay, well, that gives them the Queen of Hearts and the Ace of Hearts. But that doesn't give them the 3rd heart for a discard, right? If we cover, they get the Ace of Hearts, the Jack of Hearts, and the 10 of Hearts. If we don't cover, they get the Queen of Hearts and the Ace of Hearts. We save a trick by not covering. And this is not a natural play because we've all been told cover an honor with an honor. This is when you've got a singleton dummy in the dummy, excuse me. And you have to stop, interpret partner's lead, and visualize what the holding is in Declare's hand. All right. If you happen, okay, we're defending 4 spades, so another point for this morning is we need 4 tricks, right? If we don't duck, right, and Declare wins the Queen of Hearts, they can pull some trump, and when they go about setting up their diamonds and their clubs, we're going to be able to get in. Now, how many points did we think partner had on this hand? How many did we say originally? Yeah, we don't think they have very many points at all. What card do we need partner to have in order to set this hand? What honor card do we need them to have? Right. If they have the King of Clubs, then we can set the hand by winning the first minor they lead, cashing off our diamonds, and leading over to our partner's King of Clubs for the setting trick. But notice if we cover the honor, the Queen of Hearts with the King of Hearts, now declarer can pitch off, pull trump, and pitch 2 clubs off the dummy, and we lose our club trick. I think this is a pretty cool hand because it's something you can write down as a general rule, right? When there's a singleton honor and dummy, and you interpret partner's lead as shortness, play declare for the remaining honors, and don't cover that honor with an honor. I see it a lot on the circuit now that I'm playing so much. People just cover the honors with the honors without thinking. But this is something that I think we can all do. The hard part is interpreting partner's lead, right? So focusing on what partner is leading is key, and knowing the opening lead guide rules on that, right? So review your leads, and review your leads with partner so they're leading what you think they're leading. If they don't lead the right card, it's impossible to know this defense. But if they lead the correct card, right? And some of you might be thinking, well, maybe I can give partner a ruff. Well, declare is going to pull trump before that happens. Remember, partner's got 0 points. We're not going to be able to give partner a ruff. We're not going to be able to get in before declare pulls trumps. All right. Let's see. We're up to hand number 5. And I think we'll do one more hand and then we'll go to our break. Any other questions on this hand? You see how finding out how many points partner has is important? It really is. On every hand, if you take the time to figure that out, fun things start happening on defense. Right? Okay. All right, let's go to our last hand before break here. All right, we're all sitting north. And it goes pass, and east opens 1 no trump. And that's 15 to 17. I know there's different no trumps out there, but we're playing 15 to 17. South passes. West bids 2 clubs. Pass. East bids 2 spades. And it goes pass, and west bids 3 no trump. So if I were sitting there as north, I would be visualizing west's hand. What does west's hand sound like? What's the shape of west's hand? Right, balanced. And what do we know about the hearts in west's hand? Right, we know west has 4 hearts. All right, so east is playing. All right, so let me get my little pointer here. East is playing it, and our partner leads the 3 of clubs. And I'm going to tell you the first trick goes 6 of clubs by west. We stick up our queen of clubs, just in case partner's got the ace. Remember, against no trump, it's okay to underlead the ace. Versus suits, you don't want to do that kind of thing on a regular basis. And declare plays low. So all of a sudden, you as north are on lead. So let's do our high card point analysis. How many points does south have here? The opponents are in game. So you were subtracting from 14. And we've got a 10 points. So partner has approximately 4. Right. All right, so where's our source of tricks? We know what 4 points partner has, right? What's the 4 points partner has? What card does partner have in their hand based on the first trick? Ace of clubs, right? Because our queen of clubs won, right? So we know that the only card in partner's hand for trick-taking potential is the ace of clubs. So in other words, we need 5 tricks. We've got 1, the queen of clubs. We've got 2, the ace of clubs in partner's hand. We can see the ace of spades, right, is 3. If we lead over to partner's ace of clubs and they lead a spade through, we could get a second spade for 4. But we need 5 tricks. So where are we going to get our 5 tricks? You're on lead with the queen of clubs. Think about, look at the dummy. I'm going to give you about 10, 15 seconds to formulate your own plan, right? And then I'll talk through what I'm thinking. All right, so I'm seeing hearts. Well, remember, if partner's only card is the ace of clubs, declare has the queen and the ace of hearts. Okay, so the heart suit's not going to give us our 5 tricks. I'm seeing the spade suit. All right, well, the spade suit's what we want to be leading, absolutely. The key is which spade do you lead. All right, go back to the auction. The clue here is in the auction. East is shown 4 spades on the bidding, right? It went 1 no trump, 2 clubs stamen, 2 spades by East, showing 4 spades, denying 4 hearts, by the way, but showing 4 spades, and then 3 no by West. So we know that East has 4 spades. If we lead out our queen of spades at trick 2, that's going to set up the 4th spade in East's hand. So on this hand, we actually lead a low spade at trick 2, right? Win the queen of clubs at trick 1 and switch to the 2 of spades at trick 2. That gives declare a spade trick, that's fine, but what it does is it allows our partner to hold a spade in their hand, right? If North has 4 spades, East has 4 spades from the bidding, West has 3 spades because we can see it in the dummy, right? That leaves 2 spades in partner's hand. By leading the 2 of spades at trick 2, it allows us to keep our ace, queen, jack of spades. And when partner's in with the ace of clubs, they lead a spade back through West, king 10 now, right? There's only 2 left in the dummy. So North, you can win your queen of spades or your jack of spades. If they play the 10 of spades, win your jack of spades. If they play the king of spades, by all means, win your ace of spades. And then cash your remaining 2 spades. And that would give you 3 spade tricks and 2 club tricks for down 1. Most of you guys got to spades, but the key on this hand is actually leading the 2 of spades, the little card, just giving them a spade trick. And then as partner gets in with the ace of clubs, they lead through the spades, the remaining king 10 of spades, and you collect up your ace, queen, jack of spades. So that's a pretty cool play there, is realizing just duck a spade. We call it ducking a trick, giving them a trick they're entitled to, so that we can collect our other 3 tricks. If we start with the ace of spades and the queen of spades, that sets up the 4th spade in East's hand. If we lead the queen or the jack of spades at trick 2, that sets up the 4th spade in East's hand. And that's what we can't do. And realizing that East has 4 spades on the bidding is what allows us to get to leading the 2 of spades at trick 2. But again, this is a hand that is taking into account how many points partner has based on the bidding and the contract, actually based on the contract. You figure out how many points partner has, what card partner has in their hand, if you can get that far. Here it's clear because your queen of clubs won. If declare had the ace of clubs on trick 1, they would have won your queen. All right, so that's a big tell that partner's got the ace of clubs. And then working out that you're on your own on this defense because now partner's just got the ace of clubs, right? So the tricks, the remaining tricks other than the 2 club tricks have to come from your hand. Then going back through the heart suit and realizing, oh my gosh, if partner has only the ace of clubs, that means East only has the ace queen of hearts. So hearts are dead, right? It also means that declare has the ace king queen of diamonds, right? So diamonds are dead. And so that gets us to the spade suit. Then figuring out how to play the 2 to play the 2 of spades, that's a little bit deeper. If most of you got to leading a spade, that's the big idea on the hand. To set the hand though, you have to lead the 2. And that takes a little bit more thought process, realizing that East has 4 spades from the auction. All right, any other questions? Yeah, you would get three spades and 2 clubs on this hand would be your tricks. You would never get a heart trick. Declare is going to set up their diamonds and take their clubs and take their spade, and maybe the 15th or 16th trick you might get a heart, but you're going to run out of cards before you get a heart trick. Declare is not going to cash their ace king queen of hearts on you. I mean, if they do, tell them thank you, maybe take them to lunch, but they're probably going to keep the hearts locked up while they work on their diamonds and their clubs to get to their 9 tricks. All right, we're to our break. It's right at the top of the hour, I believe. Yeah. So we'll take a quick 5-minute break. You guys can stand up, walk around, get some more coffee. And we'll be back in, let's see what my iPhone says. We'll be back at 11:07. And meanwhile, if those are signed on, if you're having trouble seeing me or hearing me or getting to the handout, if you haven't had a chance to download and print the handout, this would be a good time to do that as well. And somebody asked how they were cheating. Well, they were giving signals by how they held their cards. And well, you guys are taking a break. I'll tell you when we come back from break. I'll tell you some other things. Sometimes my speech cuts out. Oh my. Okay, let me work on that during our break and I'll see what I can do here. All right, I'll be back in, let's see, 4 minutes now. All right, looks like we're about 1 minute to returning. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. And I just checked my email while we were on break, and in fact, we now have the confirmation that Monaco, Team Monaco, that Fantoni Nunes was a part of the qualification process, has in fact withdrawn from the Bermuda Bowl, so it is now official. The number 1 team, Israel, in the European qualifications, and the number 2 team, Monaco, in the European qualifications, have now officially withdrawn from the Bermuda Bowl, which starts on Saturday, the 26th of this month. And Denmark, who was the 8th place qualifier, remember Sweden has moved up because Israel dropped out, and now Denmark, who was behind them in the qualifying, has now officially accepted the place that Monaco is vacating. So I'll be working on that this afternoon after our webinar, working on their bookwork and stuff, the methods they play. It's crazy for the coaches of the other teams, because we're now, all the work we thought we had done on these other 2 teams, we're having to start completely over with 2 new teams with this short date. So, but anyway, it is now official. You will not see Monaco in the Bermuda Bowl next week in India. I've had a couple of questions. Let me go ahead and pull the next hand up, and we can talk about the question. The number rules. You guys are probably, if you're writing this down, I'm just going to run through it again. If your opponents are in game, you want to subtract your high card points from 14. That's the number you subtract. You assume they have 26, knowing they may have 25, 24, 27, but your starting point is 26, and there's 40 high card points in the deck, just as to help you remember, why is it 14? If you give them 26 for game, that means your side has 14 left. If you're defending against the 3-level contract, it means they tried to get to game, but they didn't have quite enough points to get to game. So you are subtracting from 17 in that case. You're giving them approximately 23 points because they tried to get to game. And then you're subtracting from 40, that gives your side approximately 17 points. And if you are defending against a 2-level contract, it means they didn't even have enough to invite. All right, so we're assuming they have around 21 high card points, which gives your side approximately 19 high card points. So that's why you would subtract your high card points from 19 to determine how many points partner has. And I would say to you that even if you're not to the point where you know what to do with the number of points partner has, if you just add it to your game at this point and make it a habit, make it something you do on every hand that you're defending, it will become a second nature thing after a while, to the point where you can start actually, ideas will start crossing your mind. Oh, wow, if they have 0 points, I'm on my own. If they have 9 points, I've got a partner to work on, to work with, right? And a lot of times at that 2-level contract, when you guys have half the points, right? If they have 21 and you have 19, it's a matter of they're going to be trying to trump stuff, right? So that's the type of level that you might think trump switch. Or you might be thinking, oh, can I give partner a rough? But if it appears that both of your hands are more balanced and the opponent, the declarer's hands are unbalanced, they're probably going to be using trumping as a source of tricks on that type of hand where they only have 21 highs. So to counter that on defense, you might be thinking trump switch, right? That's just sort of ideas to be thinking about. Okay, Let's take a look at hand number 7 here. And you're all sitting east. And west, your partner says pass, slow start. And north says 1 club, opens 1 club. You overcall 1 diamond. This is a very nice 1 diamond overcall. South bids 1 spade. Your partner comes to life with 3 diamonds, which would be preemptive there. And north bids 3 spades. You would pass because you've now told your story. Your 1 diamond overcalled showed 10 to 16 points in a 5-card suit. You're all in with your diamond overcall. You pass 3 spades and south bids 4 spades, and it goes all pass. So let me give you about 15 seconds to go through what we do, figuring out what are we expecting shape-wise to come down in north's hand, shape-wise to come down in the north is going to be dummy here. I'll tell you partner leads the ace of diamonds. So interpret partner's lead and how many points partner has approximately since the opponents are in game. We're subtracting from 14. And then what your defense might be at trick 1 on the ace of diamonds lead. And if you want to type in your ideas, it helps me know how you're thinking. So I'd love to hear your thought process as you're going through this. And this is what I think on every defense hand. And if you can answer all of those questions, it takes time. You're going, okay, the clock is going to run out before I answer all of those questions. The more you do it, though, the more every time you do it, the faster you get. And then you can focus on how you're going to signal, right? Partner's going to win the ace of diamonds. We have to decide how are we directing this defense, right? We're third hand, and we are the traffic director of the defense. South is declare. Partner west leads the ace of diamonds. And dummy comes down as north. And you're sitting east. All right. So the first question I said, okay, well, we need, the first question I answer, I need 4 tricks on defense. All right. My partner's leading the ace. They've raised diamonds. So they have diamond length. All right. They're not leading from shortness. It's from length. I've got 11 high card points. And that leaves my partner with approximately 3 points. Now they've led the ace of diamonds, so we know they have 4. But what we also know is they have no more, right? That ace of diamonds is the last honor in their hand. And so we need to tell partner what we want them to do at trick 1. If we play the 8 of diamonds, remember we play standard signaling, then you would encourage with the 8 of diamonds if that's what you want. If you don't want them to continue diamonds, then you would discourage with the 2 of diamonds. Now, some of the questions are, can you give suit preference here? And the answer is no. The ACBL actually, well, unless you're Italian or Israeli, apparently, because they were giving signals on the opening lead. But by the way, they held their card on the table. But for you and I, we can't send dual signals, okay? We can either say we like it or we don't like it. We can't say we don't like it and we want this suit. That's called a dual signal, and that's not allowed at trick 1. So you have to, if you decide you want to discourage partner's signal, then it's up to partner to figure out what to switch to based on the dummy, right? We've had that before today. The dummy often directs the defense. Once third hand has told the opening leader whether to continue suit, that's easy, partner just continues. It's more challenging when third hand discourages the continuation of that suit. All right, so we need 4 tricks. If we can get 2 diamonds and we can get 2 hearts, that would be our 4 tricks. But if partner continues leading a diamond now and sticks us in, right, we win our queen of diamonds, we are on lead. and there's no way of getting partner back in. Remember, we've all figured out that partner only has the ace of diamonds in their hand, and they've played it, right? So in this case, with those threatening clubs in dummy, right, again, partner doesn't have the queen jack of clubs. We can put the queen jack of clubs in South's hand. Once declare gets control of the hand, they're going to pull trump, because again, partner doesn't have the ace king of spades. The ace king of spades is in South's hand, right? They're going to pull trump, they're going to run clubs, and any heart winners that we might have had are going away. So if we encourage and partner leads a diamond to our queen, the best we can do at that point is cash our ace of hearts and hold the declare to 4, right? At match points, maybe you got a few tricks, right? But you can no longer set the hand once you encourage diamonds. Or on the flip side, if you discourage diamonds and partner's not paying attention and continues leading a diamond. So what you'll want to do after the seminar, if partner wasn't online with us this morning, is remind them to pay attention to your signal at trick 1. Otherwise, you're going to get very frustrated. When partner tells you don't continue at trick 1, make sure you listen to them and switch. Now, looking at this dummy, if partner doesn't want a diamond, the trump lead is generally out, which is spades here. The club lead is daunting, right? Partner doesn't want you to lead a club. That's declare suit. Partner wants a heart lead. And if Wes can work that out, which it's possible, definitely possible looking at the dummy, you generally don't attack dummy's long suit. That's their suit. That's their source of tricks, right? Attack dummy's short suit. In this case, is hearts. So at trick 2, partner leads a heart. Declare will most likely fly with the king because it's their only chance. You win your ace, you win your queen of hearts, and you cash your king of diamonds for down 1. Any other lead out of partner's hand at trick 2, other than a heart, allows declare to pull trump, run clubs, and discard away their heart losers, your heart winners, right? So it's a timing thing. It's a timing thing. So yes, we discourage with the diamond, hope that partners had their coffee for the day, and hope partner realizes not to continue diamonds. This is going to be hard for partner to adjust to, though, right? Usually we take our tricks and be happy, right? But we're trying to take our defense to another level now and think about where our source of tricks are coming from, how many tricks we need, right? I often tell the story about my youngest daughter who represented the U.S. when she was 13 years old in China, nonetheless. She, at a very young age, about 4 years old, she would be defending the hand. And I can still see her doing this when I was playing. I can still visualize it. And she would sit there and go, okay, the contract is 4 spades. I need 4 tricks. I can see 2 tricks. Where are my other 2 tricks coming from? And she would sit there and study the dummy and look at her hand and work out where she hoped her other 2 tricks came from. And that's how you want to think. Now, you don't want to say it out loud because you're not 4 years old and you're not cute and people thought it was, funny to watch this little 4-year-old say things out loud. But that's the exact thought process you want to have when you're defending, right? How many tricks do I need? How many tricks can I see? Where do I get my other 2 tricks? Is it an active defense or a passive defense based on the number of points partner has, right? All right, so this is a big one for partner, but the big thing we have to realize is to not just rotely signal with the 8 of diamonds, to think about what we really want partner to do, which would be to switch to a heart here. Yeah, you can't do suit preference at trick 1. Trick 1 signals are attitude, unless there's a singleton and dummy. Now it's suit preference, but otherwise it's attitude. All right, hand number 8. You're sitting west. Let me get my pointer on here. You're sitting west, and you open a diamond. North up here bids 2 hearts, and that's weak for those that don't play weak jump over calls. That would be a weak jump over call. It looks like a weak 2 bid. So it looks like 6 hearts and less than 10 high card points. So weak bid. East would pass and South would bid 4 hearts. And well, you haven't finished telling your story. So you say double. All right, double just says partner do something intelligent. It's called a cooperative double. It says partner, you know, if I've got the other 3 suits, if you've got an unbalanced hand, let's play the hand. If you've got a balanced hand, then let's defend the hand. That's what cooperative double means. All right, so then it goes all pass. So we're defending 4 hearts double. And our partner over here leads the 3 of diamonds. Now we have to interpret partner's lead. All right, now this is a little bit trickier because they're in 4 hearts, which normally we would subtract from 14. But remember, we had a preemptive bid, so all bets are off now. They're bidding on their distribution, not their high cards. Although South has 16 points, North could have 10 points, but usually for a preemptive hand, you have less than 10 highs. So you're counting on partner. It looks like they're leading from length. I would interpret the 3 of diamonds from length. All right, and because I can see the 2 of diamonds. Oftentimes, interpreting partner's lead is dependent on looking around the table at the diamonds that you can see. And since the 3 of diamonds is low, it could be a singleton, but remember North preempted showing 6 hearts. If it's a singleton, that gives declared 5 diamonds, right? And 6 5s are not very often. So I would interpret it as at least 3 diamonds over there. And I'm trying to find my source of tricks. I need 4 tricks, and I'm going to give you your 15 seconds to figure out what kind of defense you want and where your tricks are coming from. How are you setting this hand? And again, you can tell me what you're thinking, so I know which direction we're going in. What do we think our tricks are? It would be lovely if they were 3 diamonds and the ace of clubs, right? So it's probably not that. We have to work a little bit harder on that one. All right, I would think we're getting 2 diamond tricks, because if partner's leading 4th best, let's say partner's leading 4th best, that gives North 2 diamonds. So I agree we're going to get 2 diamond tricks, and we're going to get the ace of clubs. And then we're not going to get any heart tricks. North has shown 6 hearts, which means partner has only 2 hearts. So whatever hearts they might have, partner could have the king, queen of hearts, doubleton. But that would be a strange weak jump over call for North. They wouldn't have any honors. They would have the jack of hearts in their hand. And some of you guys have seen me do that, but that's probably not normal. And so on this hand, I would say to myself, okay, you know what? We need a spade trick to set this. Remember, it's doubled, right? So on this hand, I would play partner for the queen of spades. I would look at the dummy and I'd say, my goodness, that club suit is threatening. Once my ace of clubs is gone, I fear that my spade winners are going to go on the remaining clubs. Right? So I need to attack. I can go ahead and take my 2 diamonds. That's what I think I'm getting. And go ahead and attack spades at trick 3 by leading a low spade. Remember, we're in hearts, so we can't trump hearts. But remember, when you lead a low card in a secondary suit on defense, This is one of our themes today as well. You're telling partner that you have something in that suit. You would like that suit led again if they happen to get on lead. When you lead a high spot card in the middle of the hand, it's saying, I don't have anything in the suit. I'm hoping you have tricks in the suit, or I'm just trying to get back to your hand so that we can continue with our first led suit. All right, so in this case, we're going to cash our 2 diamonds, the ace, king of diamonds, and then switch to the 2 of spades at trick 3. And the trick would go 2 of spades by West, North would play low, and our partner, East, would put the queen of spades up. And at this point in your defense, it's all you can do to keep your poker face, because that's the one card in your partner's hand that you needed them to have. You didn't care what the rest of their 13 cards were on this hand, as long as they had the queen of spades. South would win the ace of spades. They'd go ahead and pull their trump. And now they're going to go setting up that club suit, right? You've already taken your diamond tricks. They're trying to get rid of their spade tricks. So they lead a club to the 10. You win your ace. And the setting trick is now the king of spades. Again, this is a timing hand, like the hand right before break, right? You've got to get your spade winners before Declara sets up this threatening suit and dummy. This would be a threatening suit here to get rid of your spade loser. Okay, so on this hand, it was a matter of looking at the type of dummy there was, realizing the limited number of diamonds you were going to get, and switching to the 3rd suit, or the 4th suit in this case. You didn't want to cash clubs because that sets up South's club tricks, right? You didn't want to continue diamonds because North would ruff, pull trump, and set up the clubs, right? You had to switch to the 4th suit, which is spades here, and then switch to a low spade to tell partner you've got something there for them. You do see 32 high card points between the 2 hands, so there's not many points for partner to have over there. But the 2 points you needed them to have, they had for you to set the hand. And some of you might be thinking, oh, well, this is imaginary because it's lesson hands. But all of these hands actually come from play. And seeing it at the table, I know, is a different world. But talking about it like this and learning to think in this way takes you a step closer to actually being able to do it at the table, right? Going through this process like this. All right. Any other questions on that hand? And by the way, you have the handouts now. The video will be posted. I'll send you a link to it. And anytime you've got questions that I don't answer in the video or in the video itself, just shoot me an email. I'll be glad to further discuss any of our hands in our webinar. And even I'll post them on the blog as well for discussion. And it's always anonymous, so you don't have to worry about me putting your name up there or anything like that. I'll just post the question and then answer it. We had some questions from last week's webinar that I posted on the blog between sets. All right, hand number 9. Here you're North. And West starts with a pass. And you pass. And East bids 1 no trump. East over here bids 1 no trump. South passes. West bids 2 clubs, which is Stamen. And now North, if you had gone to sleep because East had opened a no trump, you're going to miss your opportunity to make a lead directing double. Anytime the opponent makes an artificial bid, 2 clubs being Stamen, so it's artificial, the double of the artificial bid is actually a penalty double. Now, you don't expect the opponents to play in the suit, but what you're saying to partner is, I would like this suit led. That's why it's called a lead directing double. When it's at the 2 level, you're showing at least a 5 or 6 card suit, and with 2 of the top 3 honors. That's pretty much the minimum requirement there. And it's as good as bidding the suit. All right, so South's down there. If partner makes a lead directing double, unless you're void or dead, you lead that suit. If it's wrong, it's their fault. right? So here North would double. East passes, all right? Now a usual application of pass here says, I don't have a 4-card major. Remember Wes Damon asking for a 4-card major. I don't have a 4-card major, but I do have a club stopper. Okay, if they didn't have a club stopper, East would respond 2 diamonds to say, I don't have a 4-card major and I don't have a club stopper. On this type of auction, it's key for the East and the West to know that they have a club stopper. All right, so it all becomes pass and 2 diamonds. Both say I don't have a major, but pass says I do have a club stopper. Then it goes pass and West bids 3 no. Okay, and it goes all pass. And partner leads the 3 of clubs. Okay, partner's down here. East is declaring 3 no trump. Partner leads the 3 of clubs, and West comes down in the dummy. All right, so you're all sitting north. So go ahead and figure out how many points partner has. They're in 3 no, so we're subtracting from 14. And what does partner's opening lead look like? Remembering that you doubled for a lead. Where is your source of tricks coming from? We need 5 winners. We need 5 tricks for north-south. And what are you going to play at trick 1? All right, 3 of clubs from south, 4 of clubs from west, and all of those questions you want to try to answer. I'll give you about 15 seconds, and you can type some of your answers in so I know what you're thinking. North has 9 points, and we're subtracting from 14. So, right, partner's got about 5 points. And our source of tricks has got to come in the club suit, right? There's not many. If partner's got the king of spades, it's going to be trapped. Partner could have the ace of hearts, but that's not going to give us 4 points. What I would be thinking, okay, I have a source of tricks in my hand, but I have no sure entry. All right. East has announced that they have the king of clubs. I'm giving East the king of clubs because they passed my double. They said they had a club stopper. The only club stopper they could have on this hand is the king of clubs. So I need to leave a club in my partner's hand, right? Because I know they have approximately 5 points and none of them are in clubs. So it's likely partner will get in later in the hand. But if I win the ace of clubs and then play the queen of clubs, declare a conduct, and win the 3rd round of clubs and take all the clubs out of my partner's hand. So at trick 1, I would actually play the 10 of clubs. 3rd hand always plays low from a sequence. I play the 10 of clubs, and now East is on a guess whether to win that or not. If they duck, if East ducks my 10 of clubs, right, I'd lead back the queen of clubs at trick 2, forcing them to take their king because they only have 3, right? Partners 3 of clubs we're interpreting as they've led from 3. Could be 4, but that means that East has king in 1 and they would have won the first trick. It could be a singleton. Could be a singleton 3, but then that means East has lots of clubs and we aren't setting this hand, right? Anytime I've got a could-be scenario that I can't set the hand, I throw it out, okay? If partner has a singleton club, that means East has 5 clubs, right? And I can't set the hand then because I can't get back in. I can set my clubs up, but I can't get back in, right? So I throw that scenario out. And I play for a scenario where partner has 3 clubs. Play the 10 of clubs. If declare ducks, then I play the queen of clubs to force them to take the king. Because if I play ace of clubs and then queen of clubs, I've just extracted every club partner has in South's hand, every club he has, right? And that defeats my purpose because I don't have an entry. Now, if you say you had the ace of hearts instead of the queen of hearts on this hand, then by all means, win the ace of clubs, lead the queen of clubs, keep forcing clubs because you know you're getting in later on. But when you've got a hand with a source of tricks and no outside entry, okay, sure entry. Maybe you get in with your queen of hearts later on, but by then declarer's got their 9 tricks, right? No outside sure entry. You want to think about playing, forcing, giving a trick to declare, taking your losses early so that you keep the communication in South's hand. So that South can help you when they get in with their 4 or 5 points, whatever it is over there, and they lead a second club over to you. Now you're able to run your clubs in set 3, no trump. You would take 4 clubs and whatever entry South got in with on this hand, probably like the king of diamonds. I would think partner may have the king of diamonds. Declare takes the finesse into their hand, and then they're able to lead a club to us. But the big points on this one is third hand plays lower of touching. Okay. Third hand wants to preserve the entries in their partner's suit to the suit led because there's no clear side suit entry. And force declare to take their winner early in the hand. Or the other way of looking at it is take your losses early. We do that on declare play, but we don't often think about it on defense. And it's a good tool on defense to take your losses early to keep the communication between the 2 hands. All right. Let's see. We're up to hand number 10. You are sitting west. North opens 1 spade. East passes. South bids 2 clubs. And whether you're playing 2 over 1 or, well, if you're playing 2 over 1, you'd have to make another bid. But let's play, we'll bid 2 clubs, pass, North bids 2 spades, pass, and South raises spades to 3 spades. And your partner leads over here, leads the 2 of diamonds. And let me give you a chance. What number are we subtracting from? They're at the 3 level. So what number are we subtracting from? 17. Right. We're subtracting from 17. So how many points does partner approximately have on this hand? All right. They've got approximately 9. So our points are split. All right. And partners led the 2 of diamonds. And let's say South plays the jack because it's a suit contract. So declare is playing you for the ace of diamonds. All right. South plays the jack and you win the ace. And now it's your defense. We need 5 tricks. All right. We can see the ace of diamonds and the ace of spades is 2 tricks. And so we need 3 more tricks. We could try to give declare our partner a diamond ruff, but that 2 looks like it's from length. I would interpret from length. If it's shortness, then that means declare has 4 diamonds, which they could on this hand, but they've shown 6 spades, and 6 4s are not very frequent, right? So I would interpret partner's 2 of diamonds as being a 3-card suit. So I wouldn't think about giving my partner a diamond ruff, but I do have trump control. So on this hand, I actually need to shift gears, and instead of it being me giving partner a ruff, I need to visualize, okay, there's 9 points in partner's hand. That means they have some type of entry. If I can get a heart on the table at trick 2, then I can gain the lead with the ace of spades when declare is trying to pull my trump. I can get back to partner's hand and get a heart ruff. That's my visualization. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but that's how I go about. I can get a diamond, the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, a heart trick, and a heart ruff, and then whatever partner gets in with later on, right? Maybe partner has the ace of clubs. We know it's not going to be in diamonds. We know it's not going to be in spades. So we need partner to have some heart values there. And maybe something in clubs, right? The reason I'm not giving you partner's hand on this is I want you to be visualizing what's going on in partner's hand, tumbling the cards that could fit within the restraints given to us, right? The restraints being 9 points, right? So when you're ace of diamonds and at trick 2, lead your 10 of hearts and go after a heart ruff and see if you can get it. And on this hand, of course, because it's a lesson, partner has the ace queen of hearts and they give you a heart ruff and you end up with 2 hearts, a heart ruff, the ace of spades, and the ace of diamonds. We only wish real life hands could be, but again, this was a real life hand. So if you get to the heart switch, you would lead the 10 of hearts and to indicate a doubleton, right? All of our opening lead rules, I don't know why they're called opening lead rules, because they actually work throughout the hand. Why did South bid 2 clubs? Playing standard bidding, not 2 over 1, you would have to bid a new suit to force and then delay raise to show 3 trump. Playing a 2 over 1 system, which I know a lot of us here do, we've got different systems going on, then you would say forcing no trump, and then come back and jump raise to 3 spades. So it depends on your system. Playing a standard system, you would bid 2 clubs. Playing a 2 over 1 system, you would bid a forcing no trump. And playing other systems, you would have lots of other choices. But those are our 2 main systems. Are there any other systems that you guys play out there? Are there strong club players or ACOL players? Any other systems besides standard and 2 over 1? Montreal, yeah. Any other ones? Strong club or blue club or strong diamond? That's out there. They play that in China. No? All right, good. So when we're discussing bidding, we'll focus on the standard and the 2 over 1. All right, let's try number 11. Looks like we're going to get through all of our hands today. Here you are sitting east, and you start with a pass, and South opens the auction up with 4 spades. So I would immediately be thinking to myself, okay, South has 8 spades, could be 7 spades and a side 4-card suit. But frequency is it's 8. So my starting point for South's hand right now, because I think I'm going to be on defense, is, okay, I know 8 of their 13 spots, right? There's 5 vacant spots in South's hand right now. Sort of working on counting, right? That's the way that's my starting point at this point. Then it goes past your partner. North bids 4 no trump, which would, if you play key card, would be key card in this case. If you play standard aces, then it would be standard aces, whatever your method is. You would pass, and South would bid 5 diamonds, which would show 1 ace. If you're playing standard or if you're playing key card. For those that play 1430, South would bid 5 clubs. For our discussion's sake, we'll always be talking about 3014. But know that South is showing us 1 ace, 1 key card. And for those that don't play key card, we just know 1 ace there. Pass, and North bids 6 spades. All right, so they've gotten themselves to 6 spades, and partner has led the king of clubs. All right, so if they're in 6 spades, there's a preempt in South's hand, so it skews the number. But if you were defending against a legitimate 6 spade, like high card point 6 spade bid, you would subtract your high card points from 7. You would assume they have 33 high card points, and you would subtract your high card points from 7. Because we've got an 8 card suit in South's hand, though, we're not really expecting 33 high card points between the North and South hand here. So it's not really applicable since we have 6 points and partner just led the king of clubs. So clearly they do not have 33 high card points between them. But again, we look at the dummy. It looks like a threatening suit. We're trying to figure out what our defense is going to be. And let's say that the first trick goes ace of clubs, small, small. How many points would South have? I would say South has less than 10 high card points. Less than 10 high card points, because any preempt is limited to 4 to 9 high card points. So we get the lead of the king of clubs, ace of clubs, 2 of clubs, because we don't like clubs, right? Small club. And now North leads the jack of spades. And the big question for you as East is, do you cover that jack of spades? Now we talked at first hour about covering a singleton honor in the dummy. Visualize the spade layout. How many spades did we say South had from the bidding? 8, right? So if we've got 2, that's 10, and dummy has 2, that's 12. There's only one other spade left in this hand. Okay? And it's in partner's hand. All right? Maybe South has a 9th spade, but that's unusual. We don't play for unusual things. So on this particular hand, our general rule is cover an honor with an honor. When you can promote a card in your partner's suit or in your hand. When you work out on this hand that partner has only 1 spade, there's no cards to promote. There's no underlying cards below the jack that you could promote, because whatever spade partner has here, they're going to play it in this trick, right? And you look at your queen 5 of spades and you say to yourself, there's nothing to promote in my hand. When you get to the answer of there's nothing to promote, you no longer cover an honor with an honor. Okay, so on this hand, you actually have to play low and smoothly. And you say, well, how do I play low smoothly, right? One thing I do when dummy hits and when declare is thinking about what to play, I figure out what card I'm going to play based on what's coming off the dummy. All right, so I would start with the suits that I have issues with. The heart suit, I'm just going to play a heart. The diamonds, if they lead diamonds, I'm going to win the ace of diamonds. The club suit's already been played here. So my focus would go right to the spade suit in this case, and I would be thinking, what happens if declare leads the jack of spades off the dummy? Am I covering it with the queen, or am I going to play low? So when they lead that jack of spades, I'm ready, right? That's the type of thing I'm thinking about while declare is making their plan. And the more you have to think about on defense, the more ideas, the more things that ways of thinking about the defense becomes alive. It becomes the most exciting part of the game because you get to use your imagination. There's so many moving parts. There's so many, whether the dummy has a threatening suit or is balanced, whether partners is leading a short suit or a long suit, where are my tricks coming from, right? I think my personal opinion is defense is far more fun and exciting because you can't see your partner's hand. So you have to visualize and you have to work out the logic of the layout, what's going on based on partner's lead, the type of dummy, and how declare is playing the hand. Whereas declare play is just looking at the 2 hands. That's, you can see all 26 cards. So it's sort of a mechanical kind of thing. You have something of, what's going on in East and West hand, but on defense, there's a lot to be thinking about. So on this particular hand, I would zoom in on the spade suit and say, what am I playing if declare leaves the jack of spades off the dummy? On this particular hand, it's brutal. If the jack of spades is led and you cover with the king, declare wins the ace, and your partner's singleton king falls underneath. And so instead of having one spade loser, declare has 0 spade losers, all in the covering of the jack of spades with the queen of spades. And oh man, is partner making an ugly face at you right now too. And you know, as far as ugly faces from partner on defense, it's sometimes much easier to know what to do from the other side of the table, right? Partner's looking at the singleton king of spades going, okay, play low, partner. Just play low. I'll get a trick. They're going to finesse. I'm going to get my king of spades, right? From your side, it's a lot harder. You have to think about the bidding. You have to visualize what partner's holding is. You have to realize there's nothing to promote, and therefore you don't cover, right? That's a lot more for partner to think about. So when I'm sitting on the other side of the table, I try to remind myself that, you know, sometimes it's easier for me to see it from my hand what the correct play is. So I try very hard not to make those faces because it's a lot harder on the other side of the table. So just remind partner the next time you cover with the queen that you had a little more to think about than they did on the hand. All right, that brings us to our last hand of the day. It always goes by so fast for me. I don't know about you guys. This 2 hours, I look forward to it every week because I'm getting to teach again, and I'm having the best time doing these. All right, last hand here. You're south. West over here opens 1 no trump. North passes. East bids 2 clubs stamen. South passes. West bids 2 spades. North passes. East bids 4 spades, and it goes all pass. And partner up here leads the 10 of hearts. And I'm going to give you 15 seconds again to figure out what type of defense. Is it going to be aggressive defense or passive defense? How many high card points does partner have? They're in 4 spades, so I'm looking for 4 tricks. What tricks can I see? What tricks could we potentially create? And how am I going to go about doing that? So I'll just give you time to answer those questions. Okay, so they're in game, so we're subtracting from 14. And we have 7 points. So partner has approximately 7 points. Partner led the 10 of hearts. Okay, we can see the 9 of hearts. Anytime you can see the underlying spot card to the suit the card led, think shortness. Okay, partner's not leading from a sequence. It's not 10, 9, 8 because you've got the 9, 8. Right, so partner's got shortness. My next question would be, okay, well, is it a doubleton or is it a singleton? All right. How many spades? Just as another thought, what I would also be thinking on this hand is deciding whether it's a short lead or a long lead is asking myself, how many trumps does partner have? How many spades does North have on this hand? Right, 3. North 4. West has 4 because they responded. They could have a 5-card spade suit in there. Okay, but odds are it's only 4. Because we do open no trumps with 5-card majors, but odds are it's 4 spades in West hand, 4 in East. We're looking at 2, so partner has 3 spades. We'll go with 3 because that's the frequency. If West has 5, then North only has 2, and so they've got trump length. All right. If there's ever a question whether they've got shortness or length lead, whether their lead is shortness or length, go to the number of trump they have. If they're short trump, then it's a long lead. If they're long trump, then it's most likely a short lead because they're going for a rough. You don't usually lead short suits when you're short and trump, is the logic behind that. So we're leading the 10 of hearts. So we need to figure out, is it a doubleton or is it a singleton? So let's go back to the bidding. It went 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 spades, 4 spades. Now, if partner's heart lead is a singleton, how many hearts would that give West? We have 5 hearts. East has 3. Partner has 1. We're making an assumption partner's hand has 1. Then that leaves Declare with 4 hearts. And if Declare had 4 hearts, they would have responded 2 hearts over 2 clubs, right? And in response to Stamen, we go up the ladder, right? So we now know that partner's lead is a doubleton. So we need them to have a spade entry so they can stop Declare from pulling the trump. We don't have a clear entry, right? We don't know if our King of Diamonds is a clear entry. So in this case, we could actually play the 9 of hearts and give Declare the trick, right? And then go ahead and assume partner's got either the Queen of Spades or the King of Spades, because you don't usually lead a doubleton without some kind of trump honor. Partner gets in with their trump honor and now leads their second heart over to your ace. And then you would return the high heart, high spot card for a ruff to let them know that you had the King of Diamonds. So on this hand, the potential is you get the Ace of Hearts, a heart ruff is 2, the spade entry, either the Ace of Spades or the King of Spades the partner gets in with, and then a diamond trick. So maybe partner has the Ace of Diamonds, maybe they don't. That would be a lot for them to have, to get the Ace King of Diamonds. And then then you could get that would be the setting trick, would be getting the heart ruff. What other combination of high cards you have would be somewhere else. But I think this is a cool hand because you can figure out partners leading a doubleton because of the bidding, right? We go back to the bidding. The clues in the bidding tell us a lot about what partner's opening lead is, right? So stick that in your back pocket. Remember to review the bidding as partners making their lead to determine whether it's short lead or long lead or what honors they have in that suit, and based on the negative inferences of what Declare didn't bid in the auction. We didn't hear the heart suit, therefore they have to have less than 4 hearts. So partner's lead here can't be a singleton. All right, well, I hope you took lots of good notes, and we've got about 2 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions? We're going to have one more a seminar next week. I'm going to talk about playing Declare play, and each week I'll just flip it around. We'll do either bidding, or we'll do defense, or we'll do play. I definitely have next Wednesday scheduled. My plane leaves for India at 8 o'clock next Wednesday night, Central Time. So we'll be able to get in our seminar next week. And I'll have to let you know my schedule once I get to India. It's 10.5 hours later there. And so I'll have to figure out when I can get on with you guys as far as my play schedule. But hopefully between now and next Wednesday, I'll know that. And also between now and next Wednesday, the third pair that have been cheating on defense, I'll be able to tell you about that as well. But thank you for joining me this morning. Like I said, I'm still working out all the technical stuff, and hopefully each week it'll get better and better. Be sure to tell your friends. We'd love to have more people, especially your partner. Get your partner online. All of this great stuff, it works when your partner on defense, when your partner's doing some of it too. When breaking a suit with dummy holding, does attitude giving count prevail? With dummy holding. Oh, with crummy holding, does attitude? You have something wonderful less. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me see who's. I'm not sure I understand the breaking the suit with crummy holding. Send that question to me in email, and I'll see if I can figure out. I don't understand that one, but thank you again for coming. I know lots of you have to jump in the car and go play bridge now. And what's going to happen with all these ideas is the defense is going to go a little bit hairy haywire for a while. So be patient, let it all assimilate, and have fun out there this week. And I'll see you online next Wednesday for sure. And I'll be in touch. Remember to visit the blog, the website. Oh, I put some great defense stuff up, lessons on the website. So if you're wanting to get some more hands, some more tips like that under Defense 202 and 203, I've got some great handouts and hands and things like that. So, all right, I will see you guys next week. Thanks for coming. Bye now.